Hey, what's going on? It's David of Strong by Lee. In this video, I want to quickly talk to you about a question that I get from my clients, readers, and subscribers. And if you're even remotely interested in improving your health and your fitness via nutrition modification, then this is probably a question that you've pondered at one point or another. And that is, what is the best diet to follow? Now, I'm not making this video to tell you what I feel is the best diet to follow, but more along the lines of what is the politically correct statement on top of a politically correct statement. So we're going to take a politically correct statement and dig a little bit deeper, get underneath the surface a little bit. You have a dizzying array of options out there. You have macrobiotic, you have paleo, you have primal, high carb, low carb, intermittent fasting. What is the best diet to follow? And nowadays you have a lot of experts weighing in on what they feel is the best diet to follow under the guise of their own little brand, right? So in an intermittent fasting diet, you'll find that this expert says one thing, and then in a vegetarian diet, you'll say that this expert says the exact same thing, just in a different way. And that is, the best diet to follow is the one that you can stick to. All right, so sustainability is the golden ticket. It's the key for lasting body changes. So if you're trying to lose weight and you follow a diet, if you can stick to that diet for a long period of time, it's a success, right? Because you can continually improve, you can keep that weight off, because it's not the act of initiating a diet that people find a challenge, it is sustaining it. Research has shown that over 90% of people who initiate a weight loss diet fall off, fail within a year. Within 2 years, they've regained all their weight back, and some of them have even regained even more. So if you look at the contestants of The Biggest Losers after the follow, they find that their contestants regain almost all their weight back, right? So obviously there are a lot of other factors at play here. A lot of these contestants, you can't ignore that $250,000 is dangling in front of their face like a carrot on a stick as an incentive to win. And then afterwards, maybe their health isn't as important as that money was when they first started that show. But that's neither here nor there. So what I want to say is, what are the main qualities of a diet that make it sustainable? Now, with my coaching clients, I like to focus on a lot of different things. The first thing I like to focus on is just mindset, how people approach a diet. But let's get it. We're just going to go into the logistics for this. So my angle on this is the diet should have 4 things in order for it to be sustainable, right? For almost anyone. So you can modify any diet, vegan, macrobiotic, paleo, for anyone to make it sustainable. You just have to, 1, make sure that it fits their lifestyle. A CEO is not going to want to eat the same way as a bodybuilder. Physical activity, an Olympic athlete is not going to eat the same as me. I'm not an Olympic athlete, by the way. 3, it should be nutritious. So any diet can be sustainable, but the end game is you want to die hot. You want to be the hottest corpse 6 feet under. And I mean that in the nicest way possible. And 4, it should be satiating, right? So nutritious, the lifestyle, physical activity, those are all well and great, but if you're always hungry or if you're never hungry, then the diet is going to be hard to maintain. Now, when I say fit your lifestyle, we're talking about meal consistency here. We're talking about meal frequency, what times you eat, how often you eat, where you eat. Those are all lifestyle related. A CEO who's always traveling, bouncing back and forth between his businesses in Florida and Iowa is not going to have the same meal frequency and consistency as a bodybuilder or a college student whose life is pretty static. They're not traveling as much, well, unless you're a bodybuilder and you're competing in shows. But if you're a college student, you're not really traveling very much. You're going to and from the cafeteria at home. You might cook a little bit in your dorm, but that's about it. So lifestyle is going to be a little bit different. So you want to figure out, when you can eat, how much you can eat, when, where you can eat, and how often you want to eat. So for example, intermittent fasting, one variant of intermittent fasting is that you eat 2 meals per day. That's great for somebody who's really, really, really busy and they don't have time to meal prep all the time. Okay? 2, physical activity. A bodybuilder is going to have very different energy requirements. So they're going to be eating different amounts of protein, carbohydrates, and fats, then that CEO. That CEO might not need as much because maybe he just wants to maintain his weight and not let it get out of control as he's traveling a lot. So a bodybuilder might have to eat 4,000 calories. A CEO might only need to eat 2,400, right? So again, you need to make sure that you're taking into account physical activity, and we are under the assumption that you are working out, right? You're going to the gym, you're doing the resistance training, that whole little bit, you're doing some sprints and jumps, maybe throwing some crawls here and there. All right, maybe not. All right. I just mentioned that because the bear crawl is that one specific warm-up exercise my clients won't do unless I'm there. Ironic. Physical activity. So next, we want to make sure that the diet is nutritious. Right, so we're not just talking about, making sure that we're meeting protein, carbohydrates, fat requirements, or eating enough chicken, rice, broccoli, asparagus, potatoes, that kind of sense. We want to make sure that we're covering our micronutrients. So protein, fats, carbohydrates, and even alcohol are considered macronutrients because they provide energy in the form of calories. Micronutrients are your vitamins and minerals, vitamins A, E, D, K, C, all those vitamins and minerals that kind of are major players in the way that your metabolism, how healthy your metabolism is, right? So this is why some medical facilities will do micronutrient testing. They'll take a look at your vitamins and minerals. And this is why for pregnant women, this is super important to make sure that your vitamin and mineral levels are healthy for the baby that's growing in their womb, right? But even if you're not pregnant, it's very important to make sure that your diet is nutritious. So you're getting a wide variety of foods, different colors. As a registered dietitian, we're told that all the time in school, make sure your plate is very colorful. And even though it seems like I'm making fun of them, I'm really not. But I kind of am. You want to taste the rainbow, and we're not talking about Skittles. 4, it should be satiating. So a diet that's very nutritious can leave a little bit more to be desired. So we want to make sure that the diet is satiating. And the best way to make sure it's satiating is that you're kind of finding the right balance between how much you actually really need to eat. And that comes in the form of eating enough proteins, carbohydrates, and fats. All right. A lot of times when people have a lot of weight to lose, they're just going to slash calories across the board. So proteins, fats, and carbohydrates all go out the window. So let's say, somebody's been eating 4,000 calories. They've been gaining, 10 pounds a year. Over the course of 10 years, they've gained 25, 30 pounds. They're like, all right, I need to really drop this weight. So they cut out sodas. They cut out all their processed foods. They cut out a bunch of things. And now they're on a diet of chicken breast, broccoli, and broccoli and brown rice. They're having salads, Caesar salads for lunch. Right? So they're at a loss of why they're so hungry. All right? Because first of all, their body's not used to not eating that little, and 2, it's not satiating. They don't have a good ratio of the foods that they should be eating to make sure that their metabolism stays healthy. All right? So we want to make sure, in order to keep it satiating, have good ratios of the macronutrients, good ratios of the proteins, fats, and carbohydrates. All right, so those, I feel, are the 4 main aspects of making sure any diet is sustainable: lifestyle, physical activity, nutritiousness, and satiety. I feel that for most people, especially my coaching clients, when I walk them through this process of getting them to understand what makes a diet work well and make it sustainable, these are the 4 things. These are the 4 points that we hit on all the time, right? Okay, so those are the 4 aspects of a sustainable diet. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, or you just want to leave me some feedback, please leave them down in the comment below. Make sure you subscribe to my video. If you have any other questions, or if you're even interested in seeing how I can help you find the most sustainable diet, give me a shout out at strongbylee@gmail.com. It's my personal email. I'll respond as soon as possible. All right, so this is David, Strong by Lee. I'm out of here.